we wake, hear the birds and see the sun.
Hi, it's Darren here from Art by Darren with another Art Start DIY. I thought I should share what I know with you, and maybe you'll pick up some tips and tricks of things that I'm doing around my house. So today we're going to demo some stairs, just the balustrade up the stairs, and repair a plasterboard wall and replace some trim. Enjoy! So firstly, wear covered shoes when you're DIYing. I've been doing this for 36 years and I should know better. But it was hot that day and I didn't even think I was going to get into it this day, but I did. And I'm using a Sawzall to cut through the nails that are holding this to the wall, and also to cut through the metal parts in the balustrade as well. Making sure you have a metal blade when you use that Sawzall. And there's Tara. She's or Tata as we call her. She's being my building inspector. Now I'm cleaning up. It's always good to clean up as you go, but don't try and vacuum up drywall, plasterboard, dust with it. It doesn't like it. So here I'm taking off the trim and using a J hook, it's called. I've changed my Sawzall blade to wood there to cut through the wood, and then I'm going to go back to a metal blade to cut through any of these nails that I need to. You can see how strong that wood glue keeps things together. It was covered in wood glue, the bottom of this. I didn't realise it at the time, and it just would not come up. So I've left this at normal speed so you can see that things don't happen quickly sometimes. And I sort of cut this bit off and I managed to get that off. I was very excited, but then the rest of the trim sort of came with it. Any of these exclamation marks you see through the footage is because of my top. I'm showing my boobs. You really don't want to see those, do you? Anyway, pulling out the nails and putting them all in a pile so nobody treads on them or anything. I do actually have a box that I'm putting all these wooden pieces into as well. So whoops, nearly hit you then, and just hitting at it with a hammer, and finally it comes away. Pulling it up with this J. I mean, I would call this the crowbar, but it's not, apparently it's a J bar. And then pulling out all of the nails. And that can take a bit of time to come out too, as you can see. What we're eventually going to do here is put up a glass balustrade. But for the moment, until I've got that looked in, I can't take out the rest of these stairs. I've left the actual stair balustrade on there and just taking out these side pieces because I knew it was going to take me a while. This took me a couple of weeks actually to finish up all together. This is the next day. You can see I've changed clothes. Again with the metal blade in the Sawzall and cutting through that top rail, and then using a hammer and the J-bar to try and get that off the wall. I mean, it was stuck on pretty tight with nails and with glue. Oh, now see there, I cut through the wood with the metal blade, but it doesn't work so well, so I changed it over. It's pretty easy to change them over. You just twist it and it comes off and you pop it in again. I think I'll show you the close-up of that later on. You can see the mess that it's made. And pulling everything out. There's that box with everything in it. Now this is the second day and I've run out of puff by this stage. I did the same thing I did on the other side. Thought it would work again. And I'm just hitting it and it will not come up. Hubby comes along and goes, "Oh, I'll fix that for you, little darling." And he pulls that out for me. That's Eric, by the way. We've been married 16 years, if anybody's interested. He's the love of my life. Oh, okay, so I'm pulling off the trim around the bottom of the wall, and I use a Dremel tool. Now here I show you how to load a Dremel tool. You just unscrew it, pop the blade in, and then screw it down with the Allen key that it comes with and tighten it. I didn't tighten it very well this time, and you'll see it'll pop off. Now the reason I'm cutting around this and not just taking the whole thing off is this is our internet connection, and it goes through the floor, and I wasn't quite sure where the connection was through the floor, and I didn't see anything, so I cut around it. And you can see I've made a bit of a mess of it, but that's okay. I can fill this all in with drywall compound just to fix it all up as I go. So there, the blade came out. I had to put it in again, no problem. Just using that J-bar again to get it all off. You can see how bad the walls are. This plasterboard was just falling to pieces. So now we go to filling the plasterboard. Now, because I had such big holes to fill, I used one that's for large holes. There are different types out there. Some are for small cracks. This one was to fill large areas, because you can't really see it on film here, but that whole wall is concave because of how it was sort of pushed in, that post was pushed into the wall. And I'm having to rebuild the corners here. So this actually took probably about a week of filling and letting it dry, sanding, going back, doing it again. With corners, if you're just doing a patch-up job like this, you'll want to patch one side of it first and then let that dry, and then go back and patch the other side, so that you're not sort of pushing it backwards and forwards all the time. And that's the easiest way I found to fill that corner. So this is, I don't know, day 4 or something. Now, because I've filled my big gaps, now I'm using one that's for smaller. You can see it's thinner, and I'm just putting it on with the spatula that it comes with. I'm just showing you how I apply drywall. So just backwards and forwards, sort of right to left like that, and then scraping it back with the spatula. And you can see you push sort of quite firmly. If you overwork your plasterboard compound, it dries out and it'll start leaving those holes that you can see there. So grab some fresh and go into it again, and it'll cut. Just as a side note here, when you're cleaning up, make sure you wipe it onto a paper towel. Don't put this down your sink. It can actually clog your sink. So just wipe everything up with a paper towel first, or a rag. Make sure you clean the top of your container too, so it doesn't get stuck. Now we're moving on to sanding. I couldn't find my sanding block, could I? So I'm using a silicone mold which has got a flat side on the other side to wrap my sandpaper around, but as long as it's flat it will work. So I don't have my mask on as well, and when you're sanding you should wear a mask, because it's a very fine particle that can get into your lungs. So, oops, oh there we go, yay, she's got a mask on. It's not like we don't have masks in our houses anymore, is it, people? So here am I using my Dyson to get the drywall dust up, and nah, it's not a good idea. Okay, painting. First, stir your paint, then get it on your top. Okay, just using the same colour here. It's called Antique White USA. That was the colour I picked 8 years ago. I use it because it's a warm undertone white, and I've got a lot of artwork which is quite colourful, so I just wanted something plain on my walls. Didn't realise it became such a popular colour. They actually make it that you can buy off the shelf, which is great. So anyway, I'm just patching with that colour, so just a quick little patch. Get it all over your hands. Don't forget to wash your brush straight away afterwards. that's where we're going to leave it there for this week. Join me next time as I attempt to clean up this mess out in my courtyard and, you know, cut back that plant, as you can see there, so that I can get to this table, because I bought myself a drop saw, or miter saw you might call it. I got the Azito one from Bunnings. It's fantastic. I love it. I've just got by with a circular saw and a jigsaw all these years, but I love my new saw. I'm going to use that to cut the trim, as you see here, and the skirting board, so we'll do all that next time. Thanks so much for joining me.
Side by side and through
Bye
and
for now.
through. No limit to what we can